Welcome today to the grand opening of Wileety Native American College. If you could find your seats, that would be absolutely wonderful. We're going to have one pronunciation played first because the famous Joaquin Tarango provided us with a pronunciation of Wileety Native American College. So we're going to play that briefly so that all day we know what the pronunciation is. Thank you.
Wileety, Native American College. Wileety is a Miwok term that means to bloom, to be bright, to shine. Wileety.
Oh, okay. The first person that I would like to invite is Mary Tarango. She is a leader within our community. She fought for restoration and recognition of Wilton Rancheria. She's just been a force within our community, and I am humbled and honored that she could join us today for the opening welcome and blessing. Thank you.
Ooh, that's bright. Deep breath. When I know, 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 when I know. Oh, you can go ahead and have a seat. That was my opening welcome. Kujikalupa Onyxe, Majishituka. Good morning to all my relations out there. It makes me smile to see all the many faces that are old and new, the elders, the young elders, and the in-betweens there. Kaneoyatsit, Mary Tarango, Kanelukustu, Wilton Rancheria. I am Mary Tarango, tribal elder, Wilton Rancheria. I'm the great-great-granddaughter of Alec Blue, Nisa non-spiritual man, the great-granddaughter of Annie Blue McKean, distributee of Wilton Rancheria, the granddaughter of Irene Blue McKean Daniels, and the daughter of Alvin Louis Daniels Sr., a very proud lineage of my people from Wilton Rancheria. It is an honor and a privilege to be here today to speak to all of you on this historical celebration. Who would have thought? Come a long time here to get here. When I think of the people from the 60s and 70s, I'm already aging myself here, and having blessed this campus at a point in time, the leadership that was here then, the leadership that is here now, and it's going to promote and be able to get us through this in making Wileety such a great accomplishment. And it is a great accomplishment. It's the first Native college for a CSU system. How about that? Oh. And it wouldn't be possible without all the leadership that's here on campus, the leadership outside of campus, and I'm so proud of everyone that's taken a part in that. Too many names to name, but I will say Dr. Reed, one who's been pushing it along. So, for Dr. Reed. And of course, I'm gonna be a little biased here. My son, Joaquin Tarango, the Native advisor to the President's Advisory Cabinet. So, proud of you, son, for all that you do and continue to do. Okay, I'm not going to cry, but it is an honor, to be here and be a part of that. And Wileety, what a beautiful name. and how it encompasses the true meaning and purpose of our youth that are going to be coming here, that are coming here to bloom, to shine, to be that flourish, to be all of that. What an appropriate name. So with that, Wileety. We know how to say it now. We see how it's spelled, but let me see. I'm going to be good here and say, Olanese don't always know. It's got to be phonetic. So it's like how we say it. It's in our language, Wileety. So anyway, I'd just like to give a blessing at this time because it is very important in our tradition, in our culture, that we do something as special as this, to not let it go without being done in a good way. And as our ancestors and all of our people before us, this is how we do things. And we welcome everyone into that circle of blessing and hope and how we're going to prosper through this Native American college. So I would see that everyone that's out here, you have a commitment. You're here. You have a commitment not only for yourself, but your communities, your families, your children, to make sure that this does take off in a good way and does become a very strong college in itself. So with that, remember what your commitment is here. You're sitting here today, and I'm hopeful that everyone will share in that. So with that, we'll do a blessing. You can stand if you want now. Wileety, one above. Creator, Lord, how we call upon you today. First and foremost, we want to thank you for allowing us to rise, allowing us to feel that warmth on our face and be able to open our eyes to the beauty that you set before us. We thank you for our safe travels here today from the many places that many of us have come. We pray that you give us safe travels home, that take this beautiful voice and sound of what this meaning today. We thank you for our families, for our elders, our in-betweens, and our little ones. And we look forward to those young ones to be the next leaders and be able to attend and be a part of this college. Wileety, we ask and we thank you for the many voices that will be here today and giving the prompts and the good words, to make this the success of Wileety. We thank you for everything that you've given us. We look forward to the good food, the good sounds, the good voices. And Wileety, we can't ask for more, but just to let us be able to be in your journey. Give us that safe walk to do what we're supposed to do and being kind and loving and embracing of all. So with that, Wileety, we thank you for all that you give. Thank you for all the staff that's been responsible for this, from the president through the Native American staff to everyone here that's going to be promoting this, because we'll see many people here today outside of our own boundaries. So with that, Wileety, bless them all, embrace them. Oh. You can go ahead and sit down now, but I do want to add one more thing, and I would hope my daughter Elena would come up and help me. This is very meaningful to me. When I think about my college days here in the early 70s, I think about some of the great leaders at that time, that education was very important, and not that they had a formal academic education, but they had a traditional education, which in our tribal community is sometimes much more important. It's not to say that we don't say that we need to be educated to be able to be at the table, to negotiate and to talk and to make things happen for our tribe. But we got to remember why we're here, who we are, and what we represent. And as tribal people, we know how important that is. So when I think about Sac State, I think about my alma mater, I think about my good times here, and I remember some of the leaders at that time. Bill Franklin, my relation, tribal leader, an amazing man for the good things that he brought in seeking the language and the dances and the songs to make it happen here. Marie Potts, another great leader, Mountain Maidu. And when I think about that, I think about in the early 70s, she had a class for basket weaving, cradle board making, and things like that. I believe I started something, but I never finished it, and I feel bad about that. But I'm thinking, these are the great leaders that were here then. Our people, our ancestors now, in the years that they donated their time and gave to their community. So with that, the song that I sing at special times, and Bill would always tell me, when you feel the need to do it, do it. And it's a good time, because here we are, Native American College, the first. and then to have them have been a part of it in their own way. I'd like to honor them both. Marie Potts brought this song to our dance group many, many years ago, Wileety, which is eagle in our language, and said that when you feel like singing this, do it. So I feel like singing it and got my daughter here to help me out. But Moloku, our winged brother, think about that. Think about the trials and tribulations that we as people have, but think about our students that are going to be coming in, some that are going to be away from home, some that are going to be looking for a place for comfort, for ease to be able to study. Think about that. Moloku will be with them, our winged brother, to lift them up when they need to be lifted, and as they hit those lows in the valleys and the rivers, be able to lift them back up to the mountains. Think about that. So I would just say, just close your eyes and just think about that. Pray for these young people that will be coming in, young and old. I'm an old student here too, so think about, the ones that are going to need that help. Think about your community as we sing this song, Moloku. Oh. Hey yo we know, hey yo we know, hey yo we know, oh yannet so, wakalaka chaho heniakio, wakalaka chaho heniakio. Hey yo we know, hey yo we know, hey yo we know, oh yannet so, wakalaka chaho heniakio. Wakalaka chaho heniakio. Hey yo we know, hey yo we know, hey yo we know, oh yannet so. Wakalaka chaho heniakio. Wakalaka chaho heniakio. Hey yo we know, hey yo we know, hey yo we know, oh yannet so. Wakalaka chaho heniakio, wakalaka chaho heniakio. Hey yo we know, hey yo we know, hey yo we know, oh yannet so. Wakalaka chaho heniakio, wakalaka chaho heniakio. Hey yo we know, hey yo we know. Hey, oh, we know, oh, yannet so. Wakalaka chaho heniakio. Wakalaka chaho heniakio. Oh. Tangi komutuk. Thank you for all and blessings to all. It is a beautiful day. Oh.
We have a small gift for you. Our students are going to be coming up to hand out different gifts. I do have to say Mary Tarango also was awarded in 2023 the President's Medal for Distinguished Service, and thank you so much for being here. Thank you. I don't know why I like walking around with the mic here. I guess I should. Is this one working too? Oh, okay. I'm not sure which one I like yet. I have to figure this out. I think I do like mine walking around. I'm sorry. I'm a pacer. If you ever took one of my classes years ago, I literally would pace in front of the class as I talked. And one time I found myself in a very large class walking up the aisle, and I thought, who am I think I am? Do I think I'm Oprah Winfrey or something? I should just stay up at the front of the class. So the next person I'd like to introduce, and I should say something a little bit about myself. I didn't want to introduce myself until Mary Tarango did the blessing, because I felt like, I didn't want to come before we say our thank yous. And so my name is Annette Reed. I'm an enrolled citizen of the Tolowa Dene Nation, and I've been here for 27, now going on 28 years as a professor, director of Native American Studies, chair of the Department of Ethnic Studies, and now the current dean of Wileety Native American College. So some of you, a little over a year ago, were very kind, and you wished me many blessings and gave me wonderful gifts and told me, have a great retirement. And I was really excited about retiring. I actually was going to start making little dance dresses for our little littles that, up north. So anyway, I'd already contacted somebody to help me, learn how to do this in a good way. And then all of a sudden, a week into the semester, President Wood calls me into the office for an 8 a.m. meeting. I thought, oh, he knows I'm a morning person. So it's just, a meeting, and I wasn't thinking about it. And he said to me, he says, we started the Black Honors College a year ago, and it is run by Dean Boatema Musupie, who I couldn't think of a better person for the Black Honors College. If we could give her and the Black Honors College a big round of applause and an O. And then he says, I'd like to begin a Native American college. And he gave me all the reasons of who he wanted and what he thought that I should be, that I should come back and do this. And I said, well, one big problem. And he says, what's that? And I said, I'm retired. I'm out of here, And so he went and checked with HR, and we found that, I didn't even know this, if you cancel your CalPERS retirement within 30 days, you go back on working as if you never retired. So I had to think about it for a week, and then in that week, I started thinking of the students who had not started here yet. I started thinking of our first cohort and what we could do, and after the first cohort, what we could do for generations. And for years, I'd been, at, Sac State, and we have really wonderful programming and such, but I really felt like, that we really needed more in supporting, and developing our Native American and non-Native students into tribal, leadership programs. And so I thought, wow, okay, tribal leadership, that's really needed no matter what somebody majors in within our Native community. So after that, I thought, oh, I'm way far into it now, as I am in this talk. And so I said yes. And so I would like to give a lot of credit to President Luke Wood for the vision and the idea and, wanting to support our communities. And I say sincerely from my heart that I was surprised but so touched that, that we had your support. And President Wood is I had all these things written down. I haven't said one thing I have written down yet. Is a nationally recognized scholar on racial equality in education, authored or edited 16 books, published more than 200 scholarly works, and came to Sac State with a lot of good ideas and visions. And as I said, he created, along with Dr. Musupie, the first Black Honors College, also Combat U, which gave university-backed collegiate pathways into boxing and mixed martial arts. He's also an alumni from here. So I'm not going to go on and on, but I would love President Wood to address us at this moment. Thank you.
All right, good morning. It is very good to see everyone here and to see a room full of people who care about students here at Sacramento State. How about that? I want to begin with a special thank you for some of the amazing guests that we have in attendance today. First, I'd like to begin with our tribal leaders and tribal elders in the room. You honor us with your presence. Thank you for being here. I also like to acknowledge our leadership team here. If you're a member of cabinet or one of the deans here at Sacramento State, if you could just stand so folks can see the community that is here to help support these efforts. So behind Behind Dr. Reed is a team of people who care about making sure that this is not just successful, but is something that is a model that other institutions can look to replicate. Because we need to have not just one Native American college, we need as many as possible that are dedicated to serving our minoritized communities. I'd like to thank our student leadership for being here and our faculty leadership. Special shout out to our student body president, Aaron Jot-Carr, and also representatives from CSSA, Derek Herrera, from my time at San Diego State, a good brother, and I'm glad you're here. I also want to acknowledge two amazing attendees we have here today. A special thank you to two trustees, Trustee Ghilarducci and Trustee Yi Malakar. Thank you so much for being here. You grace us with your presence. And then, of course, we have to give just all excitement and honor and due recognition to Dr. Annette Reed and the team of people that she's assembled to make this happen. To Joaquin Tarango, to Dr. Anthony Burris and Thomas Lozano, thank you for being part of this team, and for the other folks who are providing support, thank you so much. And I think, as you've heard in the conversation that Dr. Reed just had about how this came to be, you can see that she has just an innate and deep passion for students, but particularly our students who are from Native and Indigenous communities, and making sure that when they come into a place like Sacramento State, that they don't feel like they're a guest in someone else's house, but they feel like, and that they know that they are at home, because we have the privilege of being stewards of their land. And so, in terms of the motivation for creating this college, and I want to say, we use the word college. I think it's important to say co-curricular college, because it's providing, of course, there's academic learning component that goes along with it, but it's also about the co-curricular environment of support and success, of mentorship, of advising, of counseling, of financial literacy, of all the things that come in to create a holistic experience. But too often our Indigenous students and Native students don't see themselves in the educational curriculum. And so what happens when you center them? When you make it so that every learning opportunity they have is one to not just learn about an academic discipline, but about a culture and a contribution to that academic discipline, about how the concepts that they're learning in the classroom apply directly to their people in a way that helps them to create even more power amongst our very powerful students. Many of our students may say that they have not had the opportunities to learn in spaces where their identities are centered. And so we are proud that we get to do that. We have the privilege of being the people who are in these roles at this point in time, especially with what is going on in our country, that we get to be in a room like this and celebrate the launching of Wileety Native American College. How about that? And so, as you heard, the name Wileety is a Miwok term that means to bloom, to be bright, and to shine. And I think that's a perfect name for this college. To bloom. We have 34 undergraduate students in our first cohort, and they represent approximately 25 different tribal nations. And we anticipate that this number will bloom, it will flourish, and it will grow exponentially. To be bright. These students can major in any field offered by the university. No matter the path that they choose, they will receive the theoretical and, more importantly, the practical foundations necessary for them to thrive in this environment and to go on and to continue to create a better life for themselves and for their families. And to shine. All students in the Native American College will minor in Native American Studies, which is critical. As a person who had the fortune of graduating from the Ethnic Studies department here at Sacramento State, I know the transformative education that happens there. It took a kid like me from, I like to say, from nowhere, and allowed for me to be able to pursue my dreams by centering myself and my community and my power. And to know that that's what's going to happen for these students gives me incredible joy. And also, it's an incredible responsibility for us to protect this college, to support this college so that it can bloom, it can be bright, and it can shine. And so to the students who are enrolled in the Native American College and Wileety, they have every opportunity to bloom, to bring their brightness to the benefit of the entire campus and the entire community, and to shine their light for all to recognize that they are special and that they are deserving of the absolute best. We strive to create an environment of dignity and of hope, and today is just the beginning. I'm proud of what we've built so far, but I cannot wait to see what we continue to build together under the incredible leadership of Dr. Annette Reed. So as she comes back to the podium, please give her a round of applause like the rock star that she is, turning it back to Dr. Reed.
Thank you. And we do have a gift for you. And this gift was made by Dr. Amber Bill. It's a medallion. It's a beaded medallion with the Wileety logo. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. It's a lot of bling.
I'm never taking this off.
Thank you so much. Yeah, she's a great beater. You'll meet her more later. You know, one thing I wanted to say before I bring the next person up to the stage is that we do have a few of the Wileety College students. They're out sick. I don't know, there's like something going around, but they end up going sick and they didn't want to make everybody else sick here. So we wish them well, but the ones that are here, could you please stand so people can see who you are? All right. And you'll meet them one by one later, but we just wanted to make sure you know who they are, and there will never be another first cohort. So this is historical, it's important, and it's the first step on a path to more. The next person to get up to speak is going to do two things. He's going to first do the land acknowledgement, then he's going to say a few words, but I want to say a few words about him first. This is Mark Wheeler. He is the senior advisor to the president. And again, I had all of these things written down and background and all of these meritorious things, and then I kind of threw them out the window this morning. And I want to say that Mark Wheeler takes the time because he is committed, dedicated, he cares, and I mean, he meets with us just about once a week, you know, to give guidance, to go over things, to make sure things are happening. And he really has been with us every step of the way with this Native American college, Wileety. And his brightness shines almost as much as the bling on the president's medallion there. But I say that because he's a very heartfelt person. And he's very kind. And, I'll just say this. I shouldn't say this on a mic and being recorded, but I am anyway, I guess. It's already in my mind now. He's a very loving person. And the first time that Mark Wheeler said, "I love you, Annette," I immediately thought of a very good friend. He's a Yurok artist years ago, and he's passed away now. But in the Native community, we don't usually run around saying, "I love you." And so I wasn't used to that. But there was a Native Yurok artist that used to say that. "I love you, Annette, I love you, Steve." You know, he was so nice on the phone all the time, but when Mark first said that, I just kind of didn't say anything. And then months go by, months and months, and he continues to be very warm and open with me and everything. And I'm thinking, I gotta get to know you. You know, I gotta see how you are first. Then all of a sudden, about 8 months later, we're in the parking lot, and I don't know if he remembers this, but all of a sudden when he says, "Love you, Annette," I looked over and I go, "I love you, Mark." And then he just kind of goes on about his way, and I thought, Oh, wait, I've waited 8 or 9 months to say this. so, so you have to really hear it because I've had to work up to this one. Uh, but, uh, but I did, and I meant it from the heart then, and I mean it from the heart now. So, Mark Wheeler, if you could come up and do the land acknowledgement and also say a few words. Thank you.
And I do love you, Annette. Good morning, everyone. Let me share our land acknowledgement. We acknowledge with respect that the land our campus is on today was and continues to be the homelands of the indigenous people of this area, the Nisenpawanan, Nisenan, and Miwok. The larger Sacramento area and its rivers serve as gathering places for many local tribes from the surrounding valleys and foothills, including the southern Maidu, Patwin, and Wintun. We recognize these lands and riverways as unceded traditional territories of these native peoples. We further recognize these California Native nations and respect their sovereignty. By offering this land acknowledgement, we affirm a commitment to build relationships and foster a university environment of success to better serve Native nations and communities. Oh. So, as Annette said, I'm Mark Wheeler. I'm a professor of philosophy here at Sac State. Grateful for the wisdom traditions that we bring to the campus. Grateful to have now a Native American college where the wisdom traditions of the Native American peoples can emerge more forthrightly here. I'm also grateful to be senior advisor to President Wood, who dragged me out of retirement too, to come up here and work with him. And I have had the honor and pleasure this last year or so to serve as the chief administrator, working with my colleagues, Dr. Burris in the Department of Native American Studies and Joaquin Tarango in the Office of Tribal Affairs. I'm wearing one of Anthony's necklaces today, a gift from him, and I cherish it. It's a beautiful thing. It means a lot to me to have it on my body. Annette Reed is just amazing. It's one of the greatest privileges in my career to work with her as a colleague. She's the ideal colleague. It's among the best things ever to happen to me in my life, to be able to walk with her as she moves towards her vision. And she transforms her dream of a Native American college into the reality we celebrate today, the Wileety Native American College. I want to lift up a prayer to the Creator, to God, that Dean Reed and her team remain strong and healthy in their leadership, that the Wileety Native American College becomes a model, as President Wood suggested, for how institutions of public higher education can better serve the Native American community and all of us. That the students who join together in this college can learn and grow and build a better future for all of us. Dean Reed has created a space on campus, a beautiful space, a space that I think already feels like home for those coming. Someday soon, when we look back, I hope we see that this singular and glorious poppy flower has blossomed beautifully and that its seeds have spread across the world and helped to produce a field of similar poppy flowers, blossoming and brilliant and good. I feel I need to thank President Wood for his inspired and visionary leadership. For as long as we've worked together, he's been a champion for the Native American community. Down at San Diego State, he helped us get our first land acknowledgement, he helped us get our first tribal liaison, and he worked tirelessly to ensure that the truth was made evident to the people on our campus and our community. Without his decisive commitment to supporting this effort, we would not be here today. I'd also like to say a special thanks to Anthony and Joaquin for their hard work and genius. I've been in many meetings in the rooms with them for hours, listening to them, hearing them, and seeing through their eyes how to make this a better place. To all of our guests joining us today, I want to give thanks and celebrate with you this important beginning. Know that we see you. We will take the time to see you. We're here for you. Sac State is here for you. And we're grateful and honored to build this new and bold learning community with you. Let's move together with purpose, knowing that our work is vital for a brighter, healthier world. Oh.
We have a small gift here, and thank you. Thank you so much. One of my relatives up north at Talawandini Nation beaded baseball caps for us, and I know President Wood has one on, and now you have one on. Thank you. I hope when you're getting pictures and stuff, you're getting from my front, because I hate it with my back all humped over in the back. So I like my good side showing. No, I have a humpy back because years ago, I was in the Army years ago. I was a helicopter crew chief on the old Hueys back in the 70s. And then I was wild and crazy back then, I guess. So I ended up being out with friends one time and got into a motorcycle wreck and broke my back. And then I re-broke it a couple years ago. So I hump over a little bit, but that's how I roll, so that's okay. The next person I'd like to introduce is Michael Nin. He's the Vice President for Inclusive Excellence here at Sac State. And he also is cross-cultural psychologist specializing in organizational and cultural transformation. Born to Vietnamese refugee family and raised in East Oakland, he is a former foster youth and also a high school dropout who became the first generation college graduate. His lived experience deeply informs his commitment to equity, healing, systematic transformation. And I am very happy that he is here with us at Sac State now. And he is also my direct supervisor. So, and he's very much involved with the Wileety Native American College. He's somebody that I can go to for meetings. I can text and say, this is happening, and he gives great advice. Or if it's just sending a picture to him and Mark and having them, give a heart to it or something on something we're doing with the students. So I really appreciate your leadership, Vice President.
Well, I'd like to share a bit of my Annette, Dean Annette Reed story. I remember, my goodness, was it in the spring? I was in an office in Lassen Hall, and I came in, and at this point, I've never met Dean Reed in my entire life, right? And I saw a person inside the office, and I thought, oh, good morning. And she had mentioned that she had been brought out of retirement and was going to lead and create this amazing Native American college. And I just thought, wow, so that's how I learned that this was happening, and it brought me great joy. And I don't know if you know this as well, I have a mentor and elder named Amalia Cabezas. And I connected with her and mentioned my excitement about this grand opening event. And here's what she texted to me. She said, I remember Annette Reed. She's one of the smartest, most grounded, and wonderful people on this earth. She said, what an honor for you to be able to work alongside her. Oh, and it truly has been. So, that being said, I probably don't seem like, even though I did win the genetic lottery and looking young, I'm nowhere near retirement. But I'll tell you, if I were, I would have come out of retirement too to work alongside Dean Reed. So, good morning, respected tribal leaders, elders, honored dignitaries, trustees, esteemed faculty, students, and community members. It brings me great joy to be in community with you today. On behalf of Inclusive Excellence, it is my honor to join you today at Wileety Native American College, the grand opening. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the original stewards of this land, by offering our respect to their elders, or their ancestors, their living descendants, and generations still to come. This gathering is a testament to the strength, vision, and sovereignty of Native nations. Wileety Native American College is not only a place of higher learning, it is a living embodiment of cultural preservation, resilience, and renewal. It carries forward traditions that have guided communities for centuries, while also preparing future leaders to walk confidently in both ancestral wisdom and contemporary knowledge. At Inclusive Excellence, we believe education must be rooted in justice, equity, and belonging. Wileety reminds us that those values are not abstract ideals. They are lived every day in classrooms, the councils and committees that sustain this sacred work. Today, as we welcome or come together in partnership and respect, let us reaffirm our shared responsibility to honor culture, to uplift students, and to ensure that every voice is heard and every community is seen. On behalf of Inclusive Excellence, I extend our deepest gratitude for the opportunity to be in this space, to learn alongside you, and to continue building pathways of understanding and hope together. May the work we do here today honor those who came before us, strengthen those among us, and guide those yet to come. Thank you.
We have a small gift for you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, he was really nice. He didn't tell the real story about what happened at that office. Okay, I was busy at work. I had all my stuff laid out there. I had been given the key. I was brand new, and I had all my stuff laid out in the office, and so he walks in, and I'm thinking, wow, he's walking into my office, okay. And then he says, how are you, and introduced himself and everything. We had a friendly conversation, and he says, so what are you doing here? And I said, oh, I'm working. This is my office. And he goes, that's funny. It's my office, too. And I said, really? Are we sharing? And then what I found out later, I was given the incorrect office. And so then I was thinking, oh, how golly of me, being all spread out in his office, taking over everything. But anyway, he was so kind about it, so that was really nice. Mistakes happen. Okay. And I didn't say land back or anything. Okay, next person is just a wonderful human being. Anisha is Mitchell is the Vice President for Student Affairs here at Sac State since 2023. For over 20 years, Mitchell has been advocating for student success. She has previously served as Senior Associate Vice President, Chief Divisional Operations, and Deputy Diversity Office for the Division of Student Affairs, Campus Diversity at San Diego State. And she was, the Native American College at first was under her direction, and we did make a change to be in alignment with the Office of Tribal Affairs. But it was a wonderful experience, and I have to say thank you in a very special way to VP Mitchell, because last spring, my mother had some health issues, and I needed to work remotely. And if any of you have ever been with somebody, let me just say, she was at 3 different hospitals, 2 different states, 3 different surgeries. So it was serious, and my mother made it out, and she's at home right now today, and we already talked this morning. But because of that kindness of being able to understand as a human being and work remotely, I truly believe that my mother's here today because of that. So I wanted to thank you and introduce you.
Thank you so much, Dean Reed. On behalf of the Division of Student Affairs, good morning, everyone. This moment has been generations in the making. We are standing on the edge of something both long overdue and full of promise: the launch of the Wileety Native American College. It is an honor to welcome the inaugural cohort of students who are beginning their journey with us today. Your presence marks the start of a future this university has never seen before. You are not simply attending college. You are helping redefine what higher education looks like for Native students in California and beyond. As we've heard numerous times this morning, Wileety means to bloom, to be bright, to shine. And that name wasn't chosen lightly. It reflects this space, and it reflects what this space is meant to do, and that's to nurture growth, visibility, and pride. And it reflects what we see in each and every one of you. You are stepping into a college that was created with purpose, not as an add-on or an initiative, but as a place of belonging, a place rooted in cultural respect and academic excellence, a place where Native students are not asked to leave parts of themselves at the door. Here, you bring all of who you are: your traditions, your languages, your families, your communities, into every classroom, every conversation, and into every goal that you set, which I know that you will accomplish. This college exists because people believed it could, and that it should. Our president, Luke Wood, made a bold and public commitment that Sacramento State would become the university with the highest Native American student enrollment in the state, and the first choice destination for Native students everywhere. That vision gave this college its charge: to build something worthy of the communities that we serve. We thank Dr. Annette Reed and her entire team who carried this idea forward with clarity and with heart. We're grateful to Michael Nguyen, our Chief Diversity Officer, for stepping into the leadership of the college with deep intention and with deep care. And to the Office of Tribal Affairs, your partnership, presence, and accountability helped shape this journey from the very beginning. We also honor the tribal representatives joining us today. Your presence reminds us that this work is grounded in community and that we move forward together. To the Governor's Office for Tribal Affairs, thank you for standing in solidarity and in support with us. And now, most importantly, to our students, this is your time. This is your college. You are the inaugural cohort. You are setting the tone for everything that will follow. And there is no blueprint for what you are doing, because what you're doing has never been done before. And that makes it even more special. You are, thank you for the clap. You are Wileety. You are blooming in a space that now belongs to you. You are shining in ways that will guide others home. We are honored to be a part of your journey, and we are so glad that you chose to be here because you belong here. Welcome to Wileety Native American College. Thank you.
Thank you so much. At this point in time, we get to do a little bit of a shift. And Joaquin Tarango is going to take over as Director of Ceremonies. And he is an enrolled citizen of Wilton Rancheria. He is the advisor to the President for Tribal Relations and Native American Student Success here at Sac State. And he is going to lead us through the tribal leadership addresses and the program up through lunch. And it is he is a worker. He is dedicated. When he says he's going to do something, he does it. He just carries through. And what I love about you, Joaquin, is that you're always about the students and what's going to be in their best interest and such. And anyway, one of the students in one of their videos said that she really liked the cool staff. So I guess you form under the coolness here. So thank you.
That was quite the call up. And I don't know if I can hold up to that now. It's a lot to live up. Machikshish, Guchikalopa, Kanayo Yuset, Joaquin Tarango. I am Miwok from Wilton Rancheria. I use he, him pronouns, and I work in the Office of the President as an advisor to the President for Tribal Community Relations and Native Student Success. I'm still working on an acronym for that to shorten that up. It doesn't fit on the business card. But what a great day it is to be here today. What an amazing day to take this in. And it's always a good day when I look out and see so many bright, beautiful, shining faces in the crowd. Although I can't tell if it's shining because of all the native bling or a couple greasy foreheads. Looking at you, Michaela. And it's also not a native event without a little tough love and a few jokes thrown in. But in all seriousness, we are here today to celebrate this inaugural cohort, these 34 students that are taking this journey, and the establishment of Wileety Native American College, the first of its kind. Something that you'll hear again and again and again and again and again. But that's the point. The first of its kind in all the history of these colleges throughout the state and throughout this country. When these universities were established, Native people and us, we weren't invited to them. This wasn't meant for us. We had to fight our way to be in here. We had to find all the other natives on campus to come together and support one another. And this is why when you have these colleges, these Native Resource Centers, the importance of it, that you're creating that space for these students to come and feel comfortable, to feel seen, to feel heard, and to be advocated for. And one of the first steps in that is the vision and initiative, like President Luke Wood, to have it say, we need to do better. We haven't been doing well enough, and we need to make sure that these students have the support that they need. And that's the first step. The next step is going out into the tribal communities, the Native communities, and building that trust, because there's not a lot of trust when we look at some of these colleges, right? Again, these weren't meant for us. So how do we do better? What can we do to make sure that you feel comfortable sending your people to these colleges, and to know that we will take care of them when they get here, that we'll be held accountable for the commitments that we make? That's what's important. Being together in Native community, because when you take care of community, the community will take care of you. And so I have the honor of calling up some tribal leaders that took it out of their busy schedules. They were able to make it out today to come and talk upon this celebration with us. And first up, we have a representative for the Ione Band of Miwok Indians, Chairperson Sarah Dutschke.
It's my little cousin up here. Well, thank you, Joaquin. I appreciate it, and I appreciate your words. I'm Sarah Dutschke. I'm chairwoman for the Ione Band of Miwok Indians, not too far from here, just about 40 miles down the road. And I'm very excited to be here before you today. I speak a lot in my capacity as a chairwoman, and I take great pride in being a chairwoman. It's actually the most important job I've had in my life. But I'm also a practicing attorney. I lead the tribal practice at Kaplan Kirsch in San Francisco. And it's been incredible in that role, too, being able to serve Indian country as a lawyer, protecting sovereignty and tribal rights. Seems like we were just here a short while ago, celebrating the opening of the Native American Center here at Sac State. And I had the pleasure of addressing many of you in this crowd, and there's some new faces out there, too. And then I shared my own experience as a young undergrad. Now, I did go to CSU, but not Sac State. I went to Chico State, which I'm still very proud of, by the way. And I shared then the ways in which I thought a Native American-focused student center would have helped me as a young college student. I was 17 when I went to college. I was terrified. And it was very hard to leave the comfort of my grandmother's home and transition into college life. And I feel like those same sentiments ring true for the Wileety College as well. There's a lot of things I can say. I have lots of thoughts on this new tribal college and this approach and what Sac State is doing to support our community. But you have lots of folks on your agenda today, including my cousin, Chairman Tarango, over here. And they're going to have lots of wonderful things to say about the college. So I thought, let me share what I think is most meaningful and important to me. So much of what I learned in my own academic journey from undergrad to graduate school through law school really did help prepare me for my role, not just as an attorney, but more importantly, for my role as a tribal leader for my community. And I'd be remiss not to acknowledge Dr. Reed, who was actually among my professors as a grad student, and her late husband, Dr. Steve Crum, who served as my graduate student advisor and supported me as I was actually in the first cohort of graduate students in the Native American Graduate Studies program at UC Davis. That was a really wonderful experience, but what I didn't get in my own academic journey was the opportunity to walk among my peers, to learn and grow alongside other Native students who, just like me, were on their journey to figuring out how in their future they would support their Native community. So I just want to take a moment to acknowledge and applaud Sac State and the Wileety College for the cohort model. I think that's actually one of the most important developments with regard to the college itself. And I'm very impressed with the leadership of those who helped form the college and your forethought in finding ways that Native students can come together and support one another. To the inaugural cohort, congratulations. This is a very exciting time. Everybody will always remember you as the first students at Wileety College. You should be really proud of yourselves. We're really proud of you. And you should support one another in this journey and realize that the folks that you're with today, you're going to be with for a lifetime. And I'm very excited to see the ways in which you grow and serve your own Native communities. I want to thank Sac State, President Wood, Mark, Joaquin, Dr. Reed, and everybody else who had a hand in forming Wileety College. And I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge our very own Dr. Anthony Burris, also my cousin, and thank him for his leadership and efforts here at Sac State and for being such a great role model for our Native community. Thank you.
We can't let you go yet, just yet. Next, I would like to call up from the Piscataway Band of Nomlaki Indians, Chairperson Brandon Paya.
I'm pretty blind, so I can't use my phone. I got to use this big thing, so I'm getting older. Like Joaquin said, either bright or shiny forehead. Shiny forehead. Sarah, you're not alone. I also graduated from Chico State, so we're on enemy grounds here at Sac State, but we're here. Dawenum, Netoyet Brandon Paya, Nomlakabora. So that's good morning. My name is Brandon Paya, and I am Nomlaki. Jeez, I am blind. To the family and faculty, and most importantly, the students, your future leaders of Indian country. Thank you, Dr. Reed, for the invitation to speak today. I appreciate it, and thank you, President Wood, as well. My father is Havasupai from the bottom of the Grand Canyon, and that was where I was born. My mother, she was Nomlaki from here in Northern California, and I'm an enrolled member of Paskenta Band of the Nomlaki Indians, and I have the honor of serving as the chairman of the Paskenta Band of Nomlaki Indians. It's a privilege to stand here today with all of you for the grand opening of the Wileety Native American College here at Sacramento State. This college is more than just a building, it's a promise. It's a commitment to uplift the Native students and to support their educational path forward. For our Paskenta Band of Nomlaki Indians, Wileety will provide more than access to higher education. It'll create a space where students can pursue their academic goals while remaining grounded in their identity as Native American people. It will support them not only with scholarships and mentorship, but it'll be a community that understands the unique challenges of Native students. Thanks everyone for making this possible and for making this happen. Like many of you, I know what it means to lean on family and the tribe. My father has passed away. My grandfather has passed away, but I'm not alone. I stand here with my beautiful wife, my caring mother, my favorite aunt, and my great aunt. She's a super elder. They are my support system, and they have my back through the thick and thin. So students, when you look around this room today, know that it is filled with support system as well, and that we're all here to walk with you on your path of education. And to the students, this educational journey is not always going to be easy. There will be challenges, moments of doubt, and even times when you stumble. But stumbling's not failing. Failure only happens when you stop trying. So every mistake is a lesson. Every setback is an opportunity to grow stronger. So take every opportunity that comes your way, ask questions. It's the best way to learn. These are experiences that help you grow into the tribal leaders we're all looking for. And as you begin this chapter, you carry culture, pride, and most importantly, never give up. Keep fighting for your education, your future, and for the generations that will follow in your footsteps. Congratulations to each of you. We believe in you. We stand with you. We cannot wait to see what you become. Thank you.
I know you were trying to take off like those jackrabbits out there on campus. Oh man, no, I'm blind. Next, I would like to call up from the California Valley of Miwok Tribe, Chairperson Antoinette Del Rio.
Well, hello, Machixis. Kachehe ma oyasa Antoinette Del Rio. I am the chairwoman for California Valley Miwok Tribe. And we are honored to be invited today to share a few words. I will say that I will keep it short and sweet. I am a little tired, just flew in from Portland to make sure that we were here to honor this amazing opportunity that the students here are blessed with. It's something that I wish I had growing up, something I wish that my children, well, my oldest daughter's 19, she's at CSU but Fullerton, just saying, trying to convince her to come back home, but she's not wanting to do it, even with this beautiful program. So hopefully by speaking and me learning a little bit more, I can maybe incentivize her a little bit. But thank you, Dr. Reed. Thank you, Joaquin, of course, and Thomas for making sure that we are here so that our voices can be heard and at the places that we need to be, and for storing our luggage in a little room over there. That's the most important thing. But what also is important is that this is something that I know many of our ancestors prayed for. That was stated today that we weren't supposed to be in rooms like this, but we were supposed to be in rooms like this. That's the problem, is that we were never supposed to be on the outside looking in. We were supposed to be in front and center, and that's where we will continue to be. Having our culture and our traditions intertwined with education is what is going to make each one of you successful. As the former Indian Education Director for Amador and El Dorado counties, it's something that I've seen within the youth, what was missing and what also encouraged them to do better. It was having a place that was for them, having their culture with their education, showing that, hey, that person looks like me or that person doesn't look like me, because we all look different. But that's where your family comes together. It's that education of growth within yourselves. It's what our nations need to be successful, to be honest. We need more educators, more education. So with that, our tribe is committed to supporting this adventure and success. And congratulations to the first cohort. We are proud of you, and we will continue to pray for you. Tange kamu.
She noticed the pattern. She was waiting this time. Next, I would like to call up, all the way down from the Karuk tribe, Chairperson Russell Buster Atbury.
Well, this is it's quite an honor to be here, and I would like to say I'm very, very excited about a tribal college here at Sacramento State. First of all, Ayuki Hutkich, Koda Mahityav. Hello, how are you, and good morning. Taniyachi Cha, Kas Imkum Ok. I am very happy you're all here today. As Joaquin said, I'm Buster Atterbury from the Karuk tribe. We're located in the very northern part of California, about 30 miles as the crow flies from the Oregon border. We're located in the heart of the Klamath River, and second largest tribe in California, and just downriver is the largest tribe in California, the Yurok tribe. As some of you know, we collaborated and worked very hard with the Yurok tribe to get the dam removal project done. It's the largest dam removal project in the world, and the salmon are back. So Sacramento State is my alma mater. I've been coming to Native American Days for quite a few years, and a few years ago, I seen a group of Sacramento State students surrounded. They all come down every year and help out. Mickey comes down and carries our flag, and so I went over to say hi and to tell them, yeah, I'm graduated from Sacramento State, and they said, oh, Stinger's up. I said, Stinger's what? And they said, well, that's what he said. And I said, well, I graduated here from 1974. And I could see them adding up the numbers in their head, and they said, no, that probably wasn't around back then. So I just, real quick, I want to say what a journey it's been for Indian education. We've come a long ways. There's a lot more work to do. That's why it's so important for the students to feel comfortable when they have to conquer two worlds, and this will make it a lot easier for them. We go back to the history of the boarding schools. Hopefully, you're learning about that. These kind of things weren't in the textbooks back then. I will suggest a good book. It's called The Real All-Americans. And a lot of my analogies will be sports related. That's what I do. And it's written by Sally Jenkins, and it's going to be a movie. They started getting production of this movie going quite well, actually before COVID. COVID held it up for a couple of years, and then they've had trouble getting it. It's called Bright Path. It's the real Jim Thorpe story, but it has a lot about Carlisle and the boarding schools. And their saying then when they started boarding schools was, kill the Indian, save the man. If we take away their culture, then we'll save the man. So I won't go into detail. It meant not speaking the language, not dressing, not being Indian. So that's what the boarding schools did. Obviously, we've came a long ways there. You'll learn more about tribal sovereignty, what tribal sovereignty means. And it just means that we know what we're doing. The tribes know what we're doing. And there's testimony to that fact. You take the tribes that have had the chance to develop their own economic businesses out there, and they've made the communities that surround tribal reservations, rancherias, and trust lands, they've made those communities a lot stronger. And those communities are thankful. They've provided hundreds of thousands of jobs, millions and millions of dollars that have gone back into the communities. So the tribal governments out there, we have our own constitution, and it's we're a political entity. We're not race-based, and we should be treated as such. We're no different than the states. We're no different than foreign countries. And so we want to, I'm a member of TBIC. It's a Tribal Department of Interior budget meetings. And we go 3 times. 3 times a year we go back to Washington, D.C., and we haggle over the budget and what it is. And we have gotten some increases. It has gotten better, but carrying it forward, students that have come here, if that's the path you want to go, we keep advocating that it's still severely underfunded. When you take what is given to foreign countries and what's given to Indian country, which is the same, although we're a country within a country, we're the first people here. And they should be taking care of the first people here first, rather than foreign countries. And the fact of the matter is, 1/10 of 1% that they give to foreign countries comes to Indian country, and that's unacceptable. So you'll learn about the trust responsibility that the tribes have. We also discussed that. So the U.S. federal government holds a fiduciary financial trust responsibility to protect the rights, lands, assets, and resources, and this is all legally enforceable. It's in signed treaties, it's in the Constitution, and it should be carried out as such, and we'll keep fighting for that. The consultation process, you'll learn more about the consultation process. It's really a big deal. It really is. And I'll use the dam removal, and we also just got Assembly Bill, or Senate Bill 310 passed, and that's cultural burning. It's using fire as a tool to reduce the fuels out there, which the Native Americans have used for thousands of years with great success. We didn't have these devastating fires before. That way, approximately 125 years ago, was outlawed. We were thrown in jail if we went out and did our cultural burning, which was more than just reducing the fuels for fires. It was burning the acorns. It was burning the brush that we needed to, the bear grass that is needed to make our baskets. There was a lot of culture. Actually, there was a time in the year when the knowledge was passed down. If you burn a certain time, it will form an inversion level, cool the river, and trigger the salmon to start to run. So there's much more to it than just reducing fuels for the fire. So they have come out and consulted with us on this, finally. And they're changing their ways. They passed this bill. We can get cultural practitioners to do this now. We can go on private lands if people want us to. We can clear the lands, and we can let Mother Nature do her work in the high country, and we can do work around the communities. You may have heard Governor Newsom's apology to the tribes. That's a huge step in the right direction. He made a public apology to the atrocities that happened to the tribes, and he vowed to make things right again. Chief Randy Moore, United States Forest Service, came out and visited Karuk country after a Slater fire that we had burned half the town of Happy Camp. And when he left, he made the proclamation that we not only need to, we must come out and visit with these tribes, these indigenous people that have lived here and managed these forests for thousands of years, and hear what they have to say. We must do that. He said, we have so much to learn. So there is some success stories, and I want to encourage all the students to embrace this opportunity and lead us into the future. Yotwa, thank you. Played baseball for Sac State
Next, from the Enterprise Rancheria, Eastham Yomeke Maidu, we have Tribal Council Treasurer Thomas Lozano.
Hey Tanahim, Nikki Yamsa, Thomas Lozano. I'm an enrolled citizen of Enterprise Rancheria. I am Istamwana Maidu, which translates in my language as Middle Rich People. I have served on Tribal Council now about 22 years. I am also an alumni of Sac State. I graduated in the early 2000s, right? Stingers up! With a bachelor's at the time. It was called government, now it's political science, and government and ethnic studies. And then now I'm a graduate student here at Sac State, earning my master's in higher education leadership and policy studies. And so my long-term goal is to eventually get my doctorate and be surrounded by some of these wonderful people out here within our Indian country that are doing great things for our tribal people and our tribal youth. First of all, I also want to acknowledge our elders for being here and supporting this initiative with these young students that we have surrounded the stage. We can give them a round of applause for being here. Because without them, we couldn't be who we were. We learned from them. They passed down their knowledge to us and the importance of giving back to the community. And then not only that, I would also like to give a round of applause for the tribal leaders that are here as well, taking time out of their busy day. Thank you. They are leading their nation to prosperity. They're leading their nation in economic development and growth, for us to be a stronger people and a stronger nation with our own independent nations, and less reliant on the federal government, less reliant on federal grants, and become more self-sufficient and cultural stewards as well of our languages, our ceremonies, our dance, and our songs. And because of you and your leadership, you're also setting a pathway, not only from learning passed down from the elders, but you're also passing them down to our youth that are going to be the future leaders one day. Because we're not always going to be here. I'm not always going to be here. I've been in tribal leadership now over 20 years, and I'm tired. You know, but what we do for our community, we do it because we love our community, we love our people. It is a passion. It is something that is instilled in us. That is something that leads us and guides us. And because of that, we're able to give back to the community. We are stewards, we are servants to our tribal citizens. We are servants to our elders. We are servants to our community. We are servants to our youth. And lastly, I want to be able to acknowledge our youth. All right, our first cohort, the cohort model within Wileety Native American College, right? That is exciting. When I was an undergrad here, there were 2 Native American faculty, and I tell this story all the time. The Native faculty were Dr. Annette Reed and Brian Baker. And I remember when I came onto campus, I felt lost. I felt isolated. I felt like, where am I supposed to be? Where is my footing? And so I started to look for other Native students. And then I heard of ENIT, Ensuring Native Indian Traditions. And there are some people in this room that were in that cohort with me in ENIT. And we worked together in collaboration to support each other, to grow, to reach out to the community. And you know who you are, ENIT members that are in this room. Now, many of them are professors themselves. They received a doctorate, and they're giving back to the community because they know that they're going to give back to future Native students. They're going to come back and be leaders again within the community, and we'll fight for our sovereignty, and we'll fight for our place at the table because everyone deserves that right to be at the table when it comes to our people, given the atrocities that we faced growing up. You had the very first governor in the state of California, correct, issue a bounty on Native American scalps. We aren't supposed to be here today, according to that bounty. 80% of the indigenous people of this state were completely wiped out. And we're here because we're able to be resilient and to come back. We were forced into boarding schools. Kill the Indian, save the man. I appreciate that, Chairman Atterbury, for sharing that, because that was a real initiative that happened to our people. So we lost a lot of our language. We lost a lot of our history. We lost a lot of our storytelling. We lost a lot of our culture. But we're still here. And we're still resilient, and we're still thriving. And to our students and to our youth, you are the next future. You are the next leader. Utilize your time here while you're at Wileety. Learn from the leadership. Learn from your tribal chairperson. Learn from these Native organizations that are giving back to the community, that are being there as a pathway for you towards success. I'm here as a steward. I'm here to help you. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have, because I've been there. I know what it is to feel like you don't belong at that table, but you have every right to be at that table, just like I had every right to be at that table. And we'll continue to fight that fight, and we'll continue to fight for sovereignty, and we'll always have a voice to be heard. I'm very lucky that I'm under great leadership. I was called into leadership by my tribal councilwoman, Glenda Nelson, and I said no 3 times. I'm too young. I was working at UC Davis at the time. I was working with Michelle Vegas-Frazier and a few other people at UC Davis. And she called me a second time, and I said no. Then I got a call. It was Glenda, it was my mom, and it was an elder. And they were like, they want you into leadership, Thomas. So I'm like, okay, fine. Literally 4:45 p.m., I submitted my letter of intent, and it was due that day by 5 p.m. And here I am all these years later. And I'm grateful for that, and I'm humbled for that. Because I'm just a vessel. It's never been about my glory. It's never been about my satisfaction. It's never been about my glorification. It's been about what I can do as a leader to help our citizens, but not also our citizens, our community. And I want to pass that on to our youth, to continue to be that vessel of growth, continue to be that vessel of community, continue to be that vessel of stewardship, continue to be that vessel of giving back. And with that, I want to thank you for your time and your energy, because our time is very valuable to us, and it's the most important thing that we can offer, and that's the most important that we can give, and we can never get that back, so make the best of it. Thank you.
And to round out the tribal leadership here today, I would like to call up from Wilton Rancheria, Chairperson Jesus Tarango.
Kuchi Hema, Kaneyase Jesus Tarango, proud chairman of Wileety Rancheria. It's an honor to join you here today at Sac State to celebrate the opening of Wileety Native American College. And before I get going in talking, I kind of go off script every once in a while. Just want to take the time to acknowledge our tribal leaders that are here today. Again, as it was said before, a lot of times our people aren't looked at in the same lens. We like to honor federal and state electeds, and we don't like to think of tribal as we sit in the same place with you. And so for that, thank you to all my brothers and sisters who are here with us today. And I was reminded earlier as well to the students that are in the audience, we've all sat in that seat that you're sitting in, and I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't tell you to take a nugget away from one of the speakers today or somebody today that you had an interaction with. And Chairman Atterbury reminded me when he started talking about sovereignty, and one of my mentors that I've had who has passed on now, and there was a message that he would always talk about, and it was always around sovereignty, and it was, you're only as sovereign as you act. And whatever that means to you, your sovereignty, whatever it means to you, let that lead you, let that guide you. But Wilton is proud to be the capital tribe with our home here in Sacramento. This city is where decisions are made, the decisions that shape our state, and sometimes, at times, the nation. It's only fitting that the first Native American college on a CSU campus is here, where tribal, state, and community leaders come together. On behalf of Wileety Rancheria, we're proud and deeply grateful to have been part of the naming of this college, Wileety. It is a Miwok word meaning bloom, to be bright, to shine. And for our people, words are powerful. To hear our language carried forward in this way is both humbling and inspiring, and something our ancestors dreamed of. This college will be a pathway as it brings students together as a cohort, supports them in every major Sacramento State offers, and grounds their education in Native American studies and tribal leadership. It will open doors, it will build networks, and prepare students to thrive, not only within our Native communities, but in every place where strong leadership is needed. In closing, I want to speak directly to the students of Wileety College. You carry the hopes of your ancestors, the dreams of generations yet to come. You are part of something historic, something that will ripple outward across this state and this nation. Carry yourselves with the pride of knowing you are going to change the world for our people. And with that, I'm also here to remind everybody that when we see California, we don't see it as Wileety Rancheria's territory. I don't see it as Ion's territory. I don't see it as Karuk's territory. I see California as a place we all call home. And that means our obligation is to take care of it. And so to the students and the families, my nation being one of the nations that call this place home, your students and your children are in good hands. And if you need anything, let us know. We're not too far away. We don't have barriers between us to go through a chief of staff and this one and this one and that one. We're Indian country. Our tribes here, we're located very close to you, and we have a lot of resources. And a reminder to everybody as well, we wouldn't be here today if you didn't have great leaders like President Wood pushing the important things, not only for his people, but for all people. And so with that, I just want to say congratulations to Sacramento State, the faculty, staff who brought this vision to life, and most of all, the students who will make this college shine. Tangi Como.
Gee, what now? Hey. Let's give one more round of applause and a big oh for all our tribal leadership today. These are the elected officials of sovereign nations that are coming here to speak to you because they recognize the importance of this establishment at Wileety College. And next, as I had mentioned earlier, the different mechanisms, different parts, different building pieces, the vision and initiative from campus leadership, to get this Wileety Native American College established. The partnership and the building of trust and relationship with our tribal leaders as the next one. We'd like to turn to our state leadership, because we will need their support as well to make sure that this stays a solid foundation as we go into the future. And I would like to call up from the Governor's Office of Tribal Affairs, from Dry Creek Rancheria Band of Pomo Indians, Christina Snyder Ashtari.
Ka'ashkadan Kotiwa, Christina Snyder Ashtari Wato Ashiao. Good morning, and thank you for inviting me to celebrate in community with you all today. It's an honor to join you here in the ancestral homelands of the Nisim Pawinan, Nishinan, and Miwok to uplift such a historic achievement of establishing the first Native American college of its kind at a California State University. Again, my name is Christina Snyder Ashtari. I'm a Hilikauna and Makamo, and a member of the Dry Creek Rancheria Band of Pomo Indians, and I currently serve as the Tribal Affairs Secretary for Governor Gavin Newsom. I first would like to acknowledge our elders and tribal leaders who are here today, everyone who worked tirelessly to make this dream a reality, especially Dr. Reed, and all of the students who will benefit from the community that you've created here at Wileety. And I found out about the creation of Wileety because Dr. Reed is not very good at keeping secrets, and sorry to let you all, to spill your secret. But we're actually working with Sac State to pull together the report for the California Truth and Healing Council that's going to be coming together next year. And we needed a partner because it's hard to be able to pay people what they're worth directly from the state, so we needed someone who could help us contract with California Indian writers to put together, I think, a very ambitious exercise in herding very important cats and bringing together all California Indian authors for the truth-telling piece of that report. But so we were working with Dr. Reed because we knew that she would be the best fit for this. And she's like, this is great. I'm about to retire. I'll have so much free time. And then about a week later, she's like, look, I have a secret to tell you. Please don't tell anyone, but I am going to be faculty again. So everything worked out, and we have a great partnership, but she's much busier than we anticipated her being. So over the last several years, I've worked with the governor. And during that time, he's embraced an approach to our work with tribes that's grounded in the history of this state and its treatment of California Native Americans since its inception. Together, we've worked to forward policies that acknowledge the difficult history here in the state of California, one that largely left California Native people without a place in our own homelands. Over time, Native people have been relocated, our lands taken from us, and our children removed from our care. Often placed in boarding schools, adopted to non-Native families, and made to learn foreign cultures while being forcibly cut off from accessing their own through connection to language, community, sacred places, and spiritual practices. It can be difficult to access community and culture when everything familiar is not within reach. And the early policies and practices of this state were designed to pull our people apart for this purpose. We've also seen that the establishment of some of the most respected public institutions in the state of California were funded by the sale of Indian lands, while our children often were barred from receiving a quality education by Western standards, and, as I mentioned, removed from the educations that we had cultivated in our community since time immemorial. As time's passed, even as we've seen greater awareness of the challenges our people have faced and often worked to overcome, and have often built our own tribal schools to ensure our children receive the benefits of an education that incorporates tribal and Western knowledges so that they can better navigate a world that requires both, our people still struggle to access higher education in California. And we know that when our students are able to access these institutions, we often feel alone without the supports of our community and cultural values that align with our community priorities. There should not be one California Native American struggling to find a decent, culturally informed educational experience in our own homelands, the lands that now make up California. These are the lands of our ancestors, of our origin stories, of our languages, and of our traditional foods. These lands are ours by birthright, and our people deserve to take up more space without being made to feel that we don't belong. This month marks the 175th year since the establishment of the state of California. 175 years since the wars of extermination of California Native people, of strategies to assimilate our children and pull families apart, and of the beginning of the bloodiest, speediest, and most destructive campaign against the largest and most diverse population of Native people north of Mexico. It also marks 175 years that our people have resisted, persisted, and fought to create better outcomes for our future generations. We're still here, we're still leading with our values, and we should be so proud of our people for daring to thrive in the face of successive attempts to silence our voices as the foundational cultures of the lands and waters that now make up California. Today, we're here to celebrate an incredible project undertaken by Sacramento State that's leading the way in creating a place for our students to have a culturally informed, quality education in California, and we applaud Sac State for its leadership, establishing Wileety as the first of its kind at a California State University. Wileety College and other Native-driven initiatives like it are what we'd like to continue to support in partnership with tribal governments and Native peoples throughout the state, addressing historical inequities in education, bolstering capacity and community resources, and providing opportunities for Native people to gain culturally appropriate skills to advance their communities and careers, and we cannot be more proud of the gains we're all celebrating with you here today. So on behalf of Governor Newsom and the state of California, I'd like to issue my heartfelt congratulations to all of you for this amazing achievement. Yahui.
And next on the agenda, unfortunately, Assemblymember James Ramos was not able to be with us in person today, but he has sent us a video to congratulate this achievement that we will play.
Omara, chamkachi, 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 Omara, you have your thumb, 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 Omara, you have your thumb.
I just want to thank you for allowing me to speak here with you today, and on congratulations for the first of its kind partnership with the California State University system, making sure that we're not only promoting leaders for Indian country, but for the state of California and the United States as a whole, because our voices are important to move forward. Just as the name of the school means moving forward with brightness and making sure that we're moving forward on different things. It's what you're learning here within this campus from each and every tribe that you represent. You're the thread of the state of California. You're able to bring that voices to the tables, the table where people are talking about water is on issues of the state of California. As Indian people, we could be at the table bringing our perspectives forward when they start to talk about mental health and how we're championing those issues. Our voices are drastically needed to make sure that they're not forgetting about how to approach Native American people within this area. We also need Native American students to continue to move forward and learn the areas in the state of California and this nation so that our voices are strong, not only in areas where people talk about our music, our culture, our basketry, all these different things, but let's make sure that our voices resonate when we talk about the fourth largest economy in the world, that there's Native perspectives being put into those dynamics. The different majors that you're going to major in and graduate with out of Cal State University, Sacramento, are areas that are going to bring our people forward. So what you're doing here today and what you're doing by learning at this college here at Cal State University, Sacramento, you're also paving the way for the next generation in the state of California, for a California State University system to start to come with amends to our people for the territory that was taken from us from the past history, but also the resiliency of our people to be able to move forward and carry their voices forward. That's truly what's represented here through this educational attainment. And again, it's the first one in the state of California. You're paving the way not only to become the tribal leaders within the tribal governments, but the tribal leaders in the state of California. These are things that we continue to move forward. These are things that we stand side by side with you on. These are things that we have to make sure that the resiliency of our ancestors continues to flow through our blood and veins, to make sure that our voices are carrying their perspectives forward. They might not have had the opportunity past in history because of the atrocities that happened to them, but it's up to us in 2025 to continue to move forward and to be that voice for them in everything that we do. It's because of them that we're here today. It's because of what they went through that we're able to be here and stand strong together to make sure that we're unified in addressing these issues. This is a college that's taking a first step in honoring the tribal people at this campus. It's time that our voices resonate, not just in Indian country, but our voices need to resonate throughout the state of California and throughout the United States. These are issues that we come together in, and to make sure that our voices resonate within the political system, to make sure that you see yourselves in the positions that we're in the state legislature, in the federal Congress, and ultimately a governor and a president of this United States. That's where our voices should be resonating. That's what we're going for. Other people dream for those things. It's time that we dream also, and we attain that dream, making sure that we stand together and be unified. I'm James Ramos. I'm the State Assembly, the only California Indian elected. But out there on this campus, there is the next California Indian person that will be elected and do far more than what we've been able to do. It's time that we come together. It's time that we move forward. It's time that we also acknowledge our ancestors, those that are with us, and our elders, those that have come on before us. That's the voice that resonates today. That's the voice that we need to take to the next level. From this point forward, we're building a new generation for those voices to be heard throughout the state of California.
Ho, ho, naiva, you ever naiva meno. 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 Go naiva, however 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 naiva meno.
My name is James Ramos, and I'm the Assembly member for the 45th Assembly District and chair of the California Native American Legislative Caucus. Thank you.
Thank you to Assemblymember Ramos for taking time. I know he wanted to be here today, but it is California Native American Day week, and he had to be in 101 different places at the same time. But to be able to take the time, right, and to send us a video to celebrate this day for the students and for Wileety Native American College, it means a lot. And I believe we have Linda Sachs from the Native American Caucus to represent Assemblymember James Ramos's office and the presentation of a resolution for Wileety Native American College.
Thank you. It is an honor and a privilege to be here with you today. It is not lost on me as somebody who is from the ancestral territory of the Southeast, the other coast, what a privilege it is to serve you and your community, and especially Assemblymember James Ramos. He has broken through ceilings, and I know it is his dream and hope to see many of you do the same. And it is my honor to present this resolution on behalf of the Assemblymember and the California Legislative Native American Caucus.
Is there Thomas?
Let's get over to you.
Already in the snacks.
Thank you so much.
Thomas was making sure that lunch is getting set up, that we all have the food ready to rock and roll. Next at this time, again, that next building block with the CSU leadership. I know that you were given a shout out earlier, but I would like you for the trustees to stand and be recognized. Darlene Yee Melikar and Mark, about this. Mark Ghilarducci. If we can get some lights out in the crowd. And I would like to call up from the Office of Tribal Relations from the CSU Chancellor's Office, Mountain Maidu and Executive Director Samantha Cyprit.
Hisakia, Nikki Yom Kakan, Samantha Cyprit. I'm Mountain Mighty from the Taylorsville Rancheria, and I have the honor of serving as the inaugural Executive Director of the CSU Office of Tribal Relations. As a Native woman born and raised here in Sacramento, to be here in my official capacity representing the CSU Chancellor's Office is deeply meaningful. My office is charged with ensuring that all 22 campuses uphold their legal and moral responsibilities under NAGPRA and CalNAGPRA, and with leading the CSU in building and sustaining meaningful relationships with tribal nations across California. And while that work is about accountability, it is equally about opportunity. The opportunity to reshape higher education so that Native voices and perspectives are valued, respected, and central to our shared future. I, like many of you, am the granddaughter of a boarding school survivor. That history is never far from my mind when I walk into institutions of higher education. For many Native families, our relationship with education is complex. It has been used as a tool of assimilation and erasure, but when reclaimed and reimagined, it has become a tool of empowerment and self-determination. Today is a powerful example of that reclamation. The name of this college could not be more fitting. It speaks to the resilience of Native peoples and the bright futures that will be nurtured here. It is symbolic for our students because this is a space for them to bloom and shine, rather than an educational system that once forced Native students to shrink themselves and their culture in order to fit in. The establishment of this college is a bold statement. It says that Native students are not only welcome here, they belong here. It says that Indigenous knowledge, culture, and leadership have a rightful place in higher education. And it says that Sacramento State is committed to building a future where Native students can thrive without having to set aside who they are. This college will help raise the next generation of leaders who will serve their tribal nations, and leaders who will serve in state and federal government, in business, in education, in health, and in every field. Because Native people belong in every single space where decisions are being made. Our voices, our perspectives, and our leadership are necessary to shape a stronger future guided by truth and sovereignty. I would like to recognize the vision and dedication of President Wood, Dean Reed, and so many of those who have worked hard to bring this dream to life. I would also like to honor the tribal nations of this region, whose lands we stand upon, and whose partnership is essential not only to this college, but to everything the CSU does to serve Native students and communities. And let me be clear, the CSU is committed to standing behind this college, not just today, but for years to come. We will continue to provide support, partnership, and resources to ensure its success. Together, we will make certain that Native students and tribal nations remain at the center of our work, and that this college becomes not only a model for the CSU system, but for universities across the nation. This moment is not just about the opening of a college, it is about the opening of possibility. It is a declaration that Native students will no longer be pushed to the side for education, but will stand at its very heart. It is a promise that the knowledge of our ancestors and the brilliance of our future generations will both be honored here. And it's a call to all of us, students, faculty, administrators, tribal nations, and community partners, to walk together in building something lasting and something transformative. Wileety is more than a name on a building. It is a living commitment to truth, to sovereignty, and to Native self-determination. May it continue to grow, to inspire, and to remind us all that when Native students thrive, all of education is made stronger. Thank you.
Next up, representing from the Office of Tribal Affairs here at Sacramento State, a citizen of the Ione Band of Miwok Indians, an assistant professor in ethnic studies and Native American studies, and the senior advisor to the president of Tribal Affairs, Dr. Anthony Burris.
Ooh, it's bright. Good morning or afternoon. Well, he said my introduction for me, and that was half of what I was going to say. I do have a few more things to add to that, though. As a citizen of Ione Band of Miwok Indians, I am currently serving in my 4th term on our cultural committee, and that's, been very important work for me. I write a lot of grants for the tribe, and I would say some of that work's been as important to me as, earning my PhD and being here at this institution, because that provides opportunity for our citizens, right, and for us to forward some of the initiatives that are important to us as a tribal nation. I have also been able to serve the governor's office. I think Christina mentioned earlier the California Truth and Healing Council. I'm one of the governing council members of the California Truth and Healing Council, so that's been an incredible experience, and now we're working on that final report here at Sac State. So I was debating on whether I should write something out or kind of follow an outline. It's a crapshoot. Sometimes I'm kind of boring when I'm reading, from a sheet of paper, and then sometimes I don't do great when I speak off the top of my head, but I'm going with the second option today. I want to talk about a couple of different topics really quick related to my role here as Senior Advisor to the President for Tribal Affairs, and the first one is repatriation. It's just been an incredible opportunity to serve the university in that capacity, because my roots really are in community service. That's how I got here. And when you study ethnic studies, Native American studies, you know that that's one of the foundations of our field as well. So this has really provided me the opportunity to continue that community service in my role here at this institution. And it really brings me full circle, because that's really where my journey towards academia begins here at Sac State. It's not my alma mater, but 12 years ago, when I took over chairmanship of the Cultural Committee for Ione, one of my first tasks was to work on our repatriation efforts here at Sac State. They had a really large collection. It was really complex. And I immediately realized, wow, we have a lot of work ahead of us, and we don't have economic development. We didn't have a lot of money, so I really had to roll up my sleeves and get to work writing grants, and found that I was quite successful at that. And so that, I'd kind of toyed with the idea of grad school here and there, but that was the final push. I needed to just go ahead and apply and start over at Davis. I was at Davis a few years later, and now 13 years later, I find myself here at Sac State again, where that particular journey began. But I bring that up because, when I was young, we didn't have people with college degrees around in our tribe, right? I think there were a few, but I didn't know any of them. So, my elders kind of pointed at me and said, you're someone that's going to go on that journey. They recognized something that I had, where they felt like I could get that education. But nobody ever mentioned grad school, right? Just getting a bachelor's was the pinnacle of education as far as any of us knew. I didn't know what grad school was. And so it was really kind of a meandering roundabout journey to get to grad school. And I really think that speaks to the importance of an initiative like the Native American College, so that we can help light those paths for our students, right? Let them know what their opportunities are, and so that's something I'm really looking forward to, in my role as a mentor to some of those students at Native American College. And so when I was thinking about what I wanted to say today and thinking about mentorship, I wanted to tell a quick little story about one of our students that's part of this first cohort. So we have a student, Anthony Flores, and he's been, extremely proactive since he's been here at Sac State. He's getting ready to graduate, but he did join the Native American College as part of the first cohort, and he reached out to me pretty early on and let me know he wanted to have that mentor-mentee relationship. And so, I'm keeping my eye out for opportunities. I know he wants to go to graduate school at UC Davis, and I've agreed to write him a letter, a letter of recommendation. And so I'm teaching the Native American Experience class this semester. It was kind of last minute. I thought I was going to be teaching, a different class. So I've been, putting the syllabus together and continuing to work on it as class started, reaching out to guest speakers. And I kind of had an aha moment. Like, I know Anthony wants that mentorship. I know he's applying to grad school. And, I've given them some kind of complex assignments. We're all kind of having to do that right now as professors, dealing with AI, ChatGPT, et cetera. We're really having to change up, what we're doing in the classroom. And so this last year, a lot of us have been using something called ArcGIS story maps to create these project-based learning, right? And you hear a lot of this discourse right now in education about people moving towards this project-based learning in response to artificial intelligence. But that's scary for students. All of a sudden I'm telling them they've got to create a collage and pinpoint, a geographic location on a map and use this technology they're unfamiliar with. So Anthony's someone that, that I've been working with on ArcGIS story maps for about a year now. So I was like, come to my class, be a guest speaker. You can make them feel more comfortable with this technology, and then that'll be an opportunity for you to put that on your CV for your grad school application, and it'll give me something more to write about when I'm writing your letter. And he just came and he blew me away. Like, I was so amazed when I saw his presentation. He also published an article recently in News from Native California, so he had the opportunity to speak about that as well. And so I think the students were really impressed with him. He did make them feel more comfortable with the technology, and he even brought up various frameworks that we're studying in the class right now, and I didn't even have to prompt them on doing that. I kind of got a little choked up for a second. I was so impressed. And so I just tell that story because I really think it speaks to the importance of that relationship, that mentor-mentee relationship. And so I think we'll have a lot more of those sort of stories with our students in the Native American College as we move forward over the next couple of years. And I want to finish, of course, by thanking our leadership, President Luke Wood, Mark Wheeler, the President's Senior Advisor, and of course, Dean Annette Reed. So thank you.
Anthony, you got to come back up. You know that, right? We have a gift for you. And as you can see on the agenda, next up on the list, I'd like to call up myself. Hello there. No. And as I was checking the time, I was thinking this truly is a historic day as we are ahead of schedule. All right, look at us. We're busting moves out here. No, but truly, yet again, Joaquin Tarango, Miwok from Milton Rancheria. Super long title as advisor to the president for Tribal Community Relations and Native Student Success. Doesn't fit on doesn't fit on my cards. But before that, I previously worked at UC Riverside's Native American student programs as a program coordinator. Sorry, I get a little emotional when I speak upon that, because those were 5 amazing years. And what I loved the most about it, as Dean Reed had pointed out earlier, was I directly worked with students in the office every day, day in and day out. I had 6 student assistants. We had about 20, 30 students that would come in and use those services. And when things get tough, as students, even as staff, the thing that got me out of bed in the morning was knowing that I was going to work for those students. Because when I was a student, I went to UC Santa Barbara. And the first thing I did when I got onto campus is I asked the RA, like, where the natives at? And she was like, head that way. And I was like, all right, I'll find my way. And as I walked, I heard the drums, and I was like, my people. And they were having a welcome event. And I knew that that was the support system, all 6 of us. But that was what was important. We were mighty yet small, but we were there for one another through those tough times. We did have a resource center on campus, but it was shared. So it wasn't truly our home away from home. And though I wasn't able to finish at UC Santa Barbara because it got too expensive, had to come home, I was able to come back here to Sac State, where my dad was an EOP counselor for 30 years. And I grew up on this campus as a kid, and I said, I will never go to Sac State. And then here I am, coming back to Sac State as an undergrad to finish out my degree. And during that time as a college student, I worked in the summer program through UC Irvine, the American Indian Summer Institute of Earth System Sciences. And it was a 2-week summer program where we took 40 Native youth from all over the nation. And they came out, we camped on the res for a week. They did experiments focused on Earth system sciences, measuring the water turbidity, air quality, things of that nature. And then for the second week, we took the students back to campus. They stayed in the dorms, they went to classes, they worked on a project on how to solve environmental issues in their own communities. This was an amazing, amazing program. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It made me who I am today, especially knowing that as students, as youth, you need that extra support. You need somebody in your corner sometimes. Sometimes you need that little joke. Mickey, where you at? You need somebody that you can have that tough love with, that you can joke and you feel comfortable enough to be yourself. And that was truly important. And after I graduated, I worked for my tribe, and then an opportunity came down at UC Riverside. I had a college I'd never heard of. It was like somewhere out there in the desert. No, I'm good. It's too hot out there for me. This buffalo won't survive that heat. But I threw my name in the hat because the professor that I worked with at UC Irvine said, you would be perfect for this. They have a Native American Student Program Resource Center. So I threw my name in the hat, got a call, did an interview, and they said, can you start next week? And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm in Sacramento. But I made that journey down there, and it truly opened my eyes to the support that is truly needed. And I realized that UC Riverside at the time, they were the first in the UC system to have a full-time staff Native American Student Resource Center. It's now been around since 1980. So for 45 years, that resource center has been there with somebody to support students to come in and day out. But I had never heard of it as a youth. And I didn't know about UC Riverside. I wanted to go to the beaches of Santa Barbara, San Diego. I wanted to go somewhere nice and cool. But I realized at that time, like, the foundations that were laid, the experiences that I gathered there, I knew that I would come back home one day to bring that all up here. Because when they have they have a 43 annual powwow, 42 annual Medicine Ways conference. And at that conference, you see the community that really pitch in. They ask about it every year. When is it going to be this year? Children and grandchildren from those that were at the first Medicine Ways conference attend that conference. That's legacy. That's foundation and support. And so I gathered as much knowledge as I could from them, networked, continued to learn, and as I was down there, Dean Reed had reached out and said, hey, we got some opportunities up here. Why don't you come up? And I was like, no, I'm not ready. Because for me, when I went down there, I had the mission that I wanted to see a full cohort out, from freshman to senior. to support them from when they started to when they finished. And then it just so happened that I had seen my freshmen graduate, and they were still like, "You sure you don't want to come up here? You sure you don't want to come back to Sac State?" And I was like, "No, I'm never going to work at Sac State. I'll never go back." And now here I am again. But it feels good. It feels good to be back on my homelands. It feels good to be back here where we are establishing, just last year, the Asoctama Center, the Native American Resource Center here on campus. And I believe we have some staff here, the director, Julian Wan, are you here? Where are you at? Can you stand up? Our new director for the Asoctama Center. Again, a resource center, a place for students to go. When I was a student here at Sac State with Thomas and the other of the cohort, we had to fight for space in the union and the library to hold our meetings. We had to find little corners on campus where we can be together. But now we have a dedicated space for those students. And then right after that, after I had agreed to come on in the Office of Tribal Affairs, before I had officially started, I was at the Fall Welcome, the American Studies and Student Fall Welcome, and Dean Reed, I had to leave early because it was my parents' anniversary, and so as I stepped out, Dean Reed said, wait, I gotta talk to you real quick. And we went out on the bench, and she said, well, you're gonna find out this next week, but we're also starting a college here. And I was like, wait, what? That wasn't a part of the conversations. What does that even mean? But it was exciting, because I knew that meant that Sac State was committed to making sure that they take care of the Native students here on campus. They were dedicating time and resources, something that not even all the colleges have. They don't even have spaces at some of the colleges. But those that do, they're usually a little tiny. Even at UCR, Native American Student Programs, we had a tiny little office. But it was good. It was home. And here we are now, at this point in time in history, here at Sac State in the state of California, with the Asoctama Center and with Wileety Native American College. And I hope that as we continue to say and speak this into community, it gets out there. So that it's not like to me when I didn't know about UCR, that all throughout new Native communities throughout the state, they hear the word Wileety Native American College, and that they are interested in coming out here. And that the tribes and the communities know and can trust and have confidence that we will be able to take care of their students once they are here. I always tell the students, if you need anything, let me know. If you see the big buffalo walking down on campus, just chase me down. It's all right. Come up to me. My door is open because I know what it's like to go through where you're at. You're going to have the ups and downs. It's going to get tough. You're going to want to throw in the towel. But remember, you have people in your corner. You have the staff here, the faculty here, leadership here that want to see you succeed and achieve your dreams. And we know that you can do it. Might take a little bit more than 4 years, 5 years. That doesn't matter. It takes the time, as much time as it takes. But again, it is good to be here back again with all of you. And I thank you for the time to be up here to speak. I see Dean Reed coming up. I think she's about to kick me off the stage. She's like, you're going too long now. Tongi Kamu. Gift for me? What?
I'll hand it back to Joaquin in just a moment. I just wanted to say a couple things. I was going to thank him a little bit later, but I wanted to do it now, and that's Eric Wilder, who's over here. He's a wonderful artist and graphic designer, and you keep seeing Wileety College, our logo. He's the one that designed it, and so we told him what the college name is and what it meant, and he did an absolutely beautiful job. And so every time I look around here, I'm thinking of Eric Wilder with all the poppies and the orange, and it really hit the mark really well. Also, you see in back of me a shawl that's hung up there. And years ago, oh my gosh, it must be 25 years ago now, it was in 2001, Raina Horse, where are you at? You're somewhere. There, stand up for a minute, yep, two. She's the one that, she gifted me that, and I remember we were putting on a California Indian conference, and the conference was going for 3 days, and we were in the middle of a huge, cultural event that night, and I'm, doing the director of ceremonies and concentrating on who goes next, and her and a group of students walked up, and I'm like, "You're not on the program. You're not on the program." And they just smiled and walked right by me, ignored me, and walked up on stage, took the mic, and then they did an honoring, and it was so sweet. It was so nice. So she told me that whenever I wear the shawl, to think about all the students, at Sac State. And so I thought, how much more fitting is it to put it up in back of us, And so I really thank her for that. One other thing is, I know that you're going to go for lunch, and I'm going to give it to Joaquin so he can give directions. But I just have to say that we have actually some really beautiful vendor booths back there with jewelry and artwork. And these are some of the most skilled people in California. And so I would really think it was great if you go look and yeah, and go. And buy them all out. I don't know what to say, but really admire their work. They do beautiful work. So I wanted to thank them for showing up and such. Also, I want to let you know that we do have a photo booth in the lobby, and so that's really exciting. You can go get strips of photo. And then also we have the backdrop there, the repeat screen that you can take pictures in front of. So that's all I want to say. I'm going to give it right back to Joaquin.
En Iowa, Eric Wilder e Kishichima. Kashaya pomo no potol bakea. Wenama bakayachma no potol bakea. My name is Eric Wilder. I'm from the Kashaya Band of Poma Indians, and originally we're called the people from top of the land. I've served 2 terms as tribal secretary for my tribe, and 2 terms as tribal chairman for my tribe. And I grew up under my grandmother's teaching. She was our spiritual leader. Her name was Essie Parrish, and she was a well-known basket weaver and a doctor. And growing up with her, I would hear her talk about how important education is. And so I didn't want to leave the reservation. I wanted to just learn about our people, learn our language, learn about our ceremonies and plant uses, and they were teaching me all of that. And then circumstances happened, and that I never got to be the feather dance singer that I got trained to be. And that's a long story, but I won't tell that right now. But my other passion was art. And so I had won a scholarship to the university in New Mexico. And then my dad got hurt 2 weeks before I was going to leave. And I had to go to work because they couldn't pay for food or utilities. And that wasn't a hard decision for me because I wasn't going to leave my parents. But growing up, seeing my grandparents interact with professional people, anthros, and political people, I saw them teaching these people, these professional people, about our people, about plant uses and about our respect and how we deal with the land and how we're supposed to live with that. And today it reminds me of that because they're the educators, they're the experts on our people, and they taught me that. And then I know all you Native students that are here, you're the experts on your people. And the one unique thing that's going to happen is you're going to educate these educators too, as they educate you. And you're going to open that door for us. Like I followed my art. I got to work in the video game industry as an animator, as a character designer, as a level designer. I did voice acting. I got to work on Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, Episode 1. I worked on a game for MTV called Celebrity Deathmatch, and I did a Simpsons game. So I got to be out there in the professional world doing that. And then I got to go to universities and speak about art. Even though I never got my degree, I still was able to be an educator. And because I loved it, and I know that whatever you do, follow your dream. It took me a long time to get to that where I could work as an artist. And on you is important, education is important, and you'll be able to do whatever you want. And the one thing that I got to experience is that I got to go to work and do what I love doing. I got paid to draw. I got paid to animate. And it's no greater feeling than to do something you love and you get paid for it. You get to be able to feed your family. You get to be able to buy things you want, take and buy home. And I want that for you. That's important. So like what's been said here today, we're all here for you. We all support your education. It's so important. And I'm glad I got to play a little part of it by designing this beautiful logo with the suggestions and that I got. So I guess I want to end right now. My grandfather taught me this song, and it's a sitting down song for the yoke. And he said, this song was sung for the beginning of all things. And today, this is the beginning of all things in your education. So I'll do this to honor you, to honor all the work that's been done here. Hoi ho, hoi ho, hoi wene. 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 Ma toika hene, ne ma hene, ma hene. Na ha hoi ho, hoi ho, hoi wene. 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 Ma toika hene, ne ma hene, ma hene. Na ha hoi ho, hoi ho, hoi wene. Hoi ho, hoi ho, hoi wene. Na he o. Ma ue kachak no.
One more time for Eric Wilder. Thank you. Oh. It really is an amazing, amazing logo. It's beautiful. Got it on all the water bottles already. So again, at this time, look at us, on time and ahead of schedule. I don't even know what to do at this point. I'm speechless. This never happens. So lunch, there's a few things, so don't get up just yet. Lunch will be ready by noon, and at that time, we will ask that our elders have the opportunity to go first. If there is a younger next to them, ask them if they would like to get you their plate for them. But I know that some elders are like, I want to do it myself, I got this. They'll fight you off, watch out. But we want to make sure to take care of our elders first when that time comes, and I'll give another announcement. As we do have some time, as Dean Reed mentioned, we do have some vendors in that back corner. Please go take a look and see what they got. That way you can be blinging out there and shining bright and to be blooming. In addition, we have also partnered with Unique Productions on campus. They do nooners throughout the semester, which they host a band or an artist out on Serna Plaza, right behind here of the Union. And we worked with them to bring in the live music by blues artist Paul Stewart, Elam Indian Colony Pomo. He will be out there performing from noon to 12:50, but we will also have the music that will be piped into here so that you can enjoy that as you eat your lunch. But if you get an opportunity to go out there and take a look and watch him jam out and then come back in here by 1:15, that'd be great too. Lunch today is being was prepared for and by us by Arnold Deacon Ferris, Deacon's Res Dogs. It's going to be some pretty good food out there. Again, make sure our elders are served first, and I'll come back up in about 10 minutes to give them the go-ahead. But at this time, if you'd like to get up and stretch, restroom break, right outside the doors, go buy some new earrings for your mom. Thank you.